guys, here's a nice example of a queen versus rook endgame. It's by no means all encompassing, but I think it has some nice principles. Here white loses the other pawn, so black gives some checks. And now the idea is it's easier said than done, but it's to drive the king away from the center to the edge of the board where it has only a, a little space, room to move, and also to separate these two. As you can see, they're controlling the center and they're supporting each other, so that's what we want to break. And also white needs to win this rook, otherwise white can't win. So first white queen takes the center. Let's see what happens if black would block. Then queen e7 check, and now I think black's situation is even worse. King c4. Yeah, as you can see, these pieces are already a little bit scattered. So queen c5, king e6, queen e3 check, king f5, trying to stay in the center, king c4, bringing the king closer, king f6, king c5, still improving the king, rook d7, queen f4, king e7. Okay, so now you can see that white is in the center and black has been forced to travel to the edge of the board. The pieces are still together, but let's see what happens. King c6. This square, there's no check because the queen is also covering it, so white pieces are working together even though they're not that close together. This queen can operate from a very far distance. King e8, queen b8 check, rook d8, and notice here white's already setting a mate trap. If black would play king e7, which looks kind of natural because the king and rook stay connected, well, now it's a mate in 9 because there's another check from e5, and actually best move here is king f7, but if king goes to d8, then queen f6 check. Now if king here, queen e6 check, and notice if rook to e7, then queen g8 is mate. So let's say king here, and now it's just gonna be mate shortly afterwards. And of course if king here, then this is mate. So that's why not king e7 but rook block here. Also the rook is more secure here when the white king is not threatening the rook. So now there's no clear mate yet. Queen e5 check, king f7, trying to stay flexible, queen f5 check. Is white making progress? Yes. Queen g5 check, a skewer, forcing king e8. So now you can see the black pieces are on the edge of the board, and here white can play many moves. He can play queen h5, queen h4, or queen g7. I think this is easiest to remember for a human brain, further limiting black's moves. Notice how the rook cannot move here, the king has no squares, and So what can black really do here? If he plays a check, then black is in trouble right now. There's two different mates being threatened here. Of course, there's a rook trap, but I mean, no, it's not a draw trap anyway. So yeah, rook d1 here. Now you can see the black pieces are separated. Now what white wants to do is to fork these two pieces. So he starts with a check from h8, and now what are the squares that black can't go to? Well, these are covered, and if he goes anywhere along this diagonal, then this rook gets forked, so he can't go to f7 either. So king e7, now queen h4 check, and again these are the squares, I mean diagonals, that black cannot go to, because then this rook would get forked again, and these squares are covered, so king king f8 here, it's the only square, and now queen to f4 check. Also queen b4 check was possible with similar ideas. And now again this square is a taboo, so black cannot go to any of these g-file squares, because otherwise there's gonna be a fork, and these squares are covered, so it has to be one of these three squares. King e7, is white making any progress? Well, now white plays the crushing move. See, black is on the e file now. Now white can renew the same threat, play queen e3, and now black cannot go to the f file, because there's this fork that just strips black from these three squares. So now black is going to lose the rook. There were other moves as well earlier. Like here, queen to c7. Let's look at that a little bit. King e8 first, and I guess now it just transposes to queen g7. So this would have been a little bit quicker, I suppose. But the idea is the same. So first you just drive the black pieces to the corner, so you limit their space, because white pieces are more mobile. That's why white is able to do that. Of course you have to kind of watch out for any checks that black might do, and stuff like that. You take away squares systematically. But for example, if here black would just check, then the white king would get closer to the center. And black has to always worry about any forks. Let's say this rook goes to the a file to give checks, then he has to always worry about is white gonna be able to fork black? Is white gonna be able to force black to forking squares? So that's why black needs to be really careful here. Anyway, thanks for watching.